we can start. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, for having accepted our invitation for this webinar of the World Association for Buiatrics. As you know, we started with the initiative of the webinar almost 2 years ago now. It's just to allow us to know each other and to give the possibility to our members, so the association member of the WAB. You all know that the member of the association are a local association, local Buiatric or veterinary association, so we don't have a single person as a members, and just to give them the possibility of introducing themselves and also to introduce the context, the Buiatric context where they work. And then additionally to the presentation of the association, we have started also to include, let's say, a scientific part. This is also because we have sometimes some outbreaks, we have some global problem, we have outbreaks of diseases, and therefore this is something that we like also to discuss and to present, because many, of course, different parts of the world have a different type of disease, different problems, but it is always very good to know what happened and what are the problem in the other part of the world. As the today webinar is dominated by Brazilians, I will give immediately the floor to Ricardo, that is also Brazilian, and as you know, you probably know, it will take over the presidency of the World Buiatric Association during the next Congress in Istanbul. Therefore, he is now the so-called president-elect, and he will be definitely president in Istanbul in September 2026. And before starting, I just would like, allow me to do this, to sympathize with all the colleagues that during this so bad period for the world are somehow affected by the different conflicts that are in the world. Therefore, wherever they are, whatever the reason, we don't discuss on the reasons. It is not, our goal. But I would like to sympathize with all the Buiatricians that somehow are affected by this bad situation. So, Ricardo, the floor is yours. You are in charge of introducing our eminent speakers. Therefore, I switch off, I mute my microphone, and I give you the floor. Thank you.
Grazie, Arcangelo. My president, I'm very happy to say hello to the Kalina and the Luciana. It's two very important girls in Brazil. But I chose these two very important persons to represent the Brazil, because I'm understanding the strongest of the Brazil importance in the WAB. But it's very important to other persons say about the War Association. Kalina and Luciana, please talk about your researches about the associations. You are welcome to the World Buiatric Associations. Good presentations.
Thank you. Can you all hear me well? Right? Okay, so
yes, it's fine.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, good evening from different parts of the world. Good. It's a great honor to be here today, representing the Brazilian Buiatrics Association on this important global stage. I was very honored when I got the invitation, and I would like to start thanking Dr. Ricardo Jordão, Brazil's representative to the WAB, for his kind invitation. Also, Dr. Arcangelo Gentili, president of the World Association for Buiatrics, and Dr. Peter Heimberg. Am I right? I hope I am.
Yes, that's right.
Its secretary. And to all of you, I would like to salute Dr. Da Costa, Luciana. So it's very good to be here. And I'd like to say hello to all of you who are joining us here from around the world. I am currently a lecturer of the Federal University of Sergipe, and I serve as well as vice president for the Alagoas and Sergipe Buiatrics Association, more known as BUIASE. So today I would love to share a little bit of what we've been building over here in Brazil, a country where Buiatrics isn't just a science, it really, really talks about our national identity. So let's share. Are my slides? Okay, I'm sorry. I think I got a delay over there. So in Brazil, we do have more cows than people. So it would be, statistically speaking, we would be very comfortable saying that if you're in a room with 10 people, 7 other people are going to be chewing cud or ruminating by your side. Not human beings, but living beings. So with that expressive numbers, we do have some data, important data to share, because Brazil's role in global livestock production is of great importance. And as you can see here on this graphic, is my screen, are the people here on the side of my screen covering the graphics or the images for you or not?
No, that's fine.
No, it's perfect.
No, it's perfect.
It's okay? Okay. I'm just gonna put it. So this is our gross production, value for Brazil's main cultures nowadays, agricultural and livestock sector. As you can see, the darker green bar represents 2024, and the lighter green bar 2023. So as you can see here, for beef production, it's our second greatest product produced in the country, and bovine milk, so our dairy milk, our dairy sector ranks up in the 5th place. And this is not only to say, although Brazil is second larger in production, as we can see here, as we just saw, it is first in exports. So it's huge, and it adds up, along with the United States and European Union, adds up to about almost half of the world's beef production, for example, just to give a little bit of context. So this is really significant and really expressive, and we should and must, if I may, be discussing and talking and doing research on how to do this in a more clean, sustainable, but as well productive way. Because from what we've seen from the perspectives, we probably are going to be having to double the production, but we have, on the other hand, that kind of a worry about how are we going to do this in a sustainable and cleaner way at least. So yes, it is very important that we discuss the Buiatrics, the veterinary work in Buiatrics, therefore, is crucial, is very important, and not only locally here in Brazil, but globally. So working in Brazil means facing loads of different realities, differences, not only in cultural, not only climately, speaking, but as well as soil production, and that makes us have a lot of differences cross country when it comes to production systems. So just to give a little bit of context, Brazil has 26 states plus 1 federal district. And again, just for a bit of perspective, the United Kingdom would fit only in São Paulo, for instance. Another great way of giving some perspective is Minas Gerais, which is our greatest milk producer, can be compared in terms of territory to Spain, all of the country. And Mato Grosso, which is our beef production leader, is a little smaller than Germany. So this is just to say that having a country with that continental territory size gives us a huge challenge to face when it comes to trying to make a good work in Buiatrics and all of that. So we have, for instance, equatorial climate, which is hot all year round with constant rainfall. This is the region that, as we know, as the rainforest, Amazonian forest, really, which we share with Colombia and Peru, really humid. Then we have still some equatorial climate, but a little hotter, with a good division between, with a little division, a little dry season with it. Then we have here on orange, tropical climate with dry season and rainy season as well, really differentiated. And then up here, northeast, and with a little bit of the north in red. It's not in red by chance. It's because this is really hot up here. And we actually don't even speak about summer and winter. We speak about dry season and rainy season, wet season. As for now, we are on our winter, and I'd say that on as you know, not literally, but winter for us is just a rainy season. And then we have tropical climate with the highlands, very humid subtropical climate here on the south, which can get really cold. So this brings loads of challenge for us because of that vast geography and diverse climate. And that as well, consequently, that ends up bringing us a lot of different production systems at different regions. So we do have to, there's not a research done here at the South, for example, that can work in the North or Northeast. So we do have to have a lot of research groups, strong research groups, and not only research groups, but we have to work really closely with government and all that to get to actually get the job done when it comes to production systems and our Buiatrics work. So before I keep on, I would like just to give a little hint on our history on our Brazilian Buiatrics. So our association, Brazilian Buiatrics Association, was founded on August 1980, and this is the document and the first, the transcript from the foundation. And then on the next year, the following year, we had our first Brazilian Congress of Buiatrics in 1981, held along with the fourth Latin American Congress of Buiatrics. And then we stayed with limited activity until 1996. And it was then in one of our veterinary medicine congresses that a committee for the restructuring of the Brazilian Association of Buiatrics was created. And from 1999 onwards, the Brazilian Congresses of Buiatrics have been held uninterruptedly on a biennial basis, always on odd years. So on 2023, we had our 14th Buiatrics Congress in Pernambuco, and this year we are hosting the Brazilian Buiatrics Congress on Ceará this year, 2025. But coming back, so from 1999, our Brazilian Congresses have been held from that on a biennial basis. And the presidency of our national association rotates according to the host state association. Since Brazil has loads of states and all that, every year that we have a Brazilian Congress, on that Brazilian Congress, we establish where the next Brazilian, or where actually the two next Brazilian Congresses are going to be held on. And therefore, the regional association where the Brazilian Congress is going to be held on becomes the national association, the Brazilian Association for Buiatrics. And then one important thing to mention as well is that on 2020, we were living the pandemics, and so we had our first remote Buiatrics, Brazilian Buiatrics Association meeting, which was held along with 71 Buiatrists from 18 different Brazilian states present to discuss the future of Buiatrics. And it was really interesting. I was on that meeting as well. Dr. Ricardo was as well. We were up for giving a little bit of a fresh air and to try to, restart. Every now and then, I think every institution needs that, that stamina. And this meeting really was held for that purpose. And with that restriction, all the restrictions we had on 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemics, the Brazilian Association of Buiatrics celebrated its 40th anniversary remotely, but we held online our webinar, our 40th year anniversary webinar with great Buiatrics, with great talks, and it was really, really, all the regional associations came along, and we really held hands on that one. And from that movement on, what we felt is that a lot of regional associations that were quiescent, I don't know how to say this, that were, on standby, if I may say, came back alive, and now we are in a, if I may say, we are in a great moment. And within this year, 2020, we also gave life to the Brazilian Association for Buiatrics gave life to the Brazilian Journal of Buiatrics, which was originally created with the aim of handing out 4 volumes on the first 2 years, and then we aim to start working with it more intensively. But it's been really nice issues, and we are really encouraged by that as well. So our actual formation for Brazilian Buiatrics, our current host for the National Congress is going to be the association, the Buiatrics Association of Ceará. So currently, our president for the Brazilian Buiatrics Association is Dr. Koloviskis, and our vice president is Dr. Daniel, and along with Dr. Kayla Lemos and everybody from the Buiatrics of Ceará. And our next Congress, which I'm going to show a little bit further on, is going to be held in Fortaleza, which is the capital of Ceará. So nowadays, this is our current situation. We have these associations already registered and working with work in progress. From these, not all the 26 states have representation right now, but we're almost there. And from these that have already associations, the association from Mato Grosso, from Minas Gerais, from Rio de Janeiro, and from the federal district are in, except as for right now, as are requalifying. They've been a little bit on standby and are coming back to work now. So, and this was all due to some work that has been done in the last some efforts that has been done in the last 4 years of work for the Brazilian Buiatrics. Some current actions that are being held from the Association for Buiatrics of Ceará, which is our Brazilian Buiatrics Association right now, is the encouraging, of course, as I just mentioned, the requalification of the associations already formed and that are somewhat in a standby mode. A stimulation for the creation of new regional Buiatrics associations. We are also working on the regularization of the Brazilian Association of Buiatrics. We do have our statute, we do have our registrations all nicely done, but we came up to the conclusion after some reunions and some meetings that we have to update our statute and we have to update some of our procedures of operation. So we have been discussing all that and also discussing the creation with the turning of the Brazilian Association of Buiatrics to a legal, having its own legal personality instead of just changing from one regional to another, because this does give some challenges on that transition from one state to another. We have been currently also in a huge mobilization to confront the illegal practice of veterinary medicine. Since we are a huge country, we do have some figures that sometimes try to act like Buiatrics, like veterinary practitioners, and we have been working on that front as well. And also, we have been mobilizing to debate the prohibition of veterinary courses in distance learning format, which is something that is really totally contrary to what we think is possible and what we think is safe and ethical. So the Buiatrics has been working on that as well. And also, of course, strengthening our national health programs and working on local events, because those local events, light up a little fire on all those different country edges that Brazil have. And of course, we have to mention our 15th Brazilian Buiatrics Congress, We are working hardly on that. All the regional associations are working hard along with the association, the Brazilian association, Buiatrics Association. And we are going to have over 70 speakers, 5 roundtables, scientific work presentations. This is going to, in our this year's Brazilian Congress, we are going to be holding our first national meeting of Buiatrics study groups and academic societies, as we found that it's really important to, try to bring Buiatrics closer together since the nursery, since when they are still students, and students have been living up for that simulation. So it's been really nice, that kind of work. And the first Women in Buiatrics meeting also is going to be held on our National Congress this year. So as I told you, we have loads of challenges to face, because we can easily come from this on one side of the country to this. And aside from what it may appear, this has its challenges and it has its goods, and this does as well. So the Buiatrics do a lot of work on that. And the unequal access to continuing education is one of the fronts that we mostly try to encounter, that we do encounter, and that we try to trespass. One other thing that it's a challenge, but we have been working on, is trying to work with different sources of funding and engagement from different agencies and institutions. So we have seen loads of opportunity for growth, especially because of the national expansion. Our productions have been expanding on a crescent. It's been growing each year. We have been working on the engagement of youth and women, and we have been having great results on that. We have been seeing that young Buiatrics are coming up with loads of energy, loads of good thinking, loads of good ideas. They have been really participating on the events, on the courses, and on continuing educational courses and programs. And also with the women's engagement, which is something that we here in Brazil felt that was falling short. When you see the Buiatrics associations, they are mostly made up by men, and we have loads of Buiatric women on the field doing some great job and with some great ideas and some great research results, and we have to have that representation. And so Brazilian Buiatrics have been working closely with that, and so far, so good. So our vision of the future aims primarily working on a united and recognized Brazilian Buiatrics Association, also with full national coverage, working on for all those regional associations to come together and build them strong, and also our stronger global presence and collaboration, which is very important. And on that front, I thank you once again for the opportunity. So it's great to have research and outreach cooperations, global support for local efforts that may result in findings that can solve global challenges. And of course, at some point, hosting future international events. So I thank you all for the attention. This is my my contacts. This is the Instagram for the association, the Brazilian Association for Buiatrics. If you scan this QR code, it leads up to our website for the Brazilian Congress of Buiatrics that's going to be held in Fortaleza, Ceará, in October. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. I am up for some chat to discuss.
Yes, Ricardo, if you, I think we may have some time for the question.
We have a question of the John Meat. John Meat mentioned to clarify, Karina, about the learnings for vets in Brazil. The same to Soviet. If you can, John, open your mic to explain your questions, but I don't know if you understand.
Yes, Ricardo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Super. Kalina, you mentioned distant learning for vets, and I know nothing about Brazil, but you appeared to say that you were discouraging it, or did I misunderstand you?
Yes, but let me elaborate on that. Recently, we have had well, here in Brazil, differently from other places in the world, we have loads and loads of veterinary courses that have been created, and so people, some private institutions are encouraging veterinary courses to be held in a distant mode from beginning to end. You know, so we have been disencouraging that fully 100% online mode course, but not, I mean, a hybrid mode, I think would be welcome. But, you know, practices, all that, all the different all the different means of acting, of practicing that a veterinary can do. I mean, it's not possible for you to be qualified in a fully online course. So that's what we've been discouraging, not a hybrid way of teaching and learning. I don't know if I made myself clear. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you. I think your unique geographical distances make your circumstances very different, perhaps, from Europe.
Yes.
So I understand after your talk.
Yes, and private courses.
Sorry, how many teaching hours has such course?
How many what? I'm sorry.
How many teaching hours is included in such course?
Oh my God, in total?
Yes.
Because we have 5 years.
Yes.
The total of our course is 5 years on an integral mode. But
okay, 5 years, normal course.
yeah, I don't remember in hours. How many hours would that be? I don't know if there's anyone there that can help me, but it's 5 years.
Okay, thanks.
And how many years is over there? I'm sorry, Doctor.
In Poland, we have 11 semesters.
Yeah. Okay.
11, 5.5.
Yeah. And that's it.
Ricardo, there was another question from John.
Yes,
on the search.
John can explain about the your question about the gender and the number of the vets in the.
Yeah, it was just to get an idea of the scale of Buiatrics in Brazil, how many vets there are in practice, and whether there's more male or female in practice currently.
In practice currently, I am so sorry, I'm not going to have the numbers to give to you, but I can say that up until in the last decade, we have been having a huge change on that